So on homework 7, we're starting out, we're solving equations in chapter 1. Again, these ones have the parentheses in there and that we have to get rid of the parentheses first. And so we use our distributive property. Negative 2 times 8x would be negative 16x. Negative 2 times a negative 5 is a positive 10. The plus 2x that's on the outside of the parentheses just comes down. So we have negative 16x plus 10 plus 2x equals, on the other side of the equation, 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 5 is a positive 20. So first step, we got rid of the parentheses. The second step is to combine the like terms on the same side of the equals if you have more than 2 terms. On the left side here we have 3 terms. Tells me I can combine some stuff. In this case I can combine my x's. I'm not moving them, the signs aren't changing, I'm just putting them together. Negative 16 plus 2 is negative 14x, plus 10 then equals 4x plus 20. Once we get it down so we have 2 terms on both sides, normally we'll move our variables to the left-hand side, our numbers to the right-hand side, and here we do the opposite because we're moving them to the opposite side of the equal sign. So we're going to minus that 4x to move it over and minus the 10 to move it over. Negative 14 minus 4 would give me negative 18x. 20 minus 10 is 10. My last step when I have negative 18x equals 10 is to get rid of my coefficient, and we do that by dividing. So I'm going to divide by that negative 18 and then simplify my fraction. Positive over negative is a negative. 10/18 reduces down to 5/9 if I divide them both by 2. So second one there wants us to solve for y again. First thing we're going to do is get rid of the parentheses. 5 times y would be 5y. 5 times a minus 3 is minus 15. We're going to bring down that minus 6 that's not in the parentheses. So 5y minus 15 minus 6 equals the other side. Negative 5 times a negative 4y would be positive 20y. Negative 5 times a positive 5 is going to be a negative 25, and we're going to bring down the minus 5y that's not in the parentheses. Again, we've got 3 terms on both sides of our equation this time, which tells me I can combine stuff on the left and on the right. On the left, I'm going to combine my numbers or my constant terms. On the right, I can combine the ones with the variables. So I'm still going to have the 5y. Negative 15 minus 6, I add and keep the sign, so negative 21. On the other side, 20 minus 5 would give me 15y and minus 25 that I'm going to bring down. So 5y minus 21 equals 15y minus 25. My next step, I'm going to put my variables to the left, my numbers to the right by doing the opposite. So since that's a positive 15y, I'm going to subtract 15y. Since this is negative 21, I'm going to add 21. 5 minus 15 would give me negative 10y. And negative 21, or negative 25 plus 21 would be negative 4. So negative 10y equals negative 4. My last step, dividing by my coefficient of negative 10 and simplifying that fraction. I've got a negative over a negative, so it's going to become positive 4/10. Again, I can divide by 2, so 2/5 would end up being my answer there. So number 3, I could let you guys help me with this one. If I get rid of my parentheses there on the left-hand side, I would have what?
Negative 2y minus 8.
Minus 8. And on the right side,
4y minus 2 plus 8y plus 6.
plus 6, exactly. So negative 2y minus 8 equals 4y minus 2 plus 8y plus 6. Just two terms on this side, so I'm not going to do anything with that side. But on the other side, I've got 4 terms. I can combine both my y's and my numbers. And so if I do that, I'm going to get
12y plus 4.
12y plus 4. Now I've got it down to where I have 2 terms on both sides. I want to move my y's to the left and my numbers to the right, so I should do what next?
Move that 12y
Minus my 12y
plus 8.
and plus my 8, exactly. I then would get
Negative 14
negative 14y
plus 12.
equals 12. And my last step, I'm going to divide by my coefficients and simplify my fraction. And so y is going to equal
6/7.
negative 6/7. So positive over a negative makes the whole fraction negative. We like to put that on the outside instead of on the bottom of our fraction.